One of the most popular prayers in the world is the Serenity prayer. Before I even put the words up, I'm pretty sure you can recite some of it. But one of the most powerful lines is, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Now, is God not answering the prayer, or are you dwelling on things you cannot change? I'm just saying.
Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. Everything that's wonderful is what I feel when we're together.
Hey guys, welcome to Affirmation Sesh, a blah 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 sub-series where peace, power, and positivity are yours for the taking. I'm your virtual hope dealer, Marcia, aka MM Dulce, author of Baggage Claim, a life series. Today's affirmation is one that may resonate with all of us across the entire world. It is April 5th of 2020, and we are all currently quarantining because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Shit. Definitely take your time to feel and be real about everything that's going on around you, because it is real, and I don't think it's fair, especially as I'm an aspiring mental health professional, to tell people to get over it, be positive, it's all right. No, sometimes it's not okay, but it's okay to not be okay, and I think more people need to preach that instead of teaching that we need to be stronger and pull ourselves by our bootstraps, when honestly we need to process our emotions. So today's affirmation is, I will not worry about the things I cannot control. I love that affirmation. I love that affirmation because what it does is it reminds me that some things are just not meant to be in my control. You don't have to be religious, you don't have to be super spiritual to just understand that there are some things that are up to you and some things that are just not. When you were a kid and you were told you would not be eating cookies before dinner, you couldn't do anything about that. You pouted, you cried maybe, but then you got over it. And I think what we need to do is remember the get over it part sometimes and just move on and adapt. Adapting is a very, very important skill set as a human being, because if we don't adapt, we won't survive. When changes happen, when bad things happen, you have a decision. You have the ability to either dwell on it and let that situation just take over and have a bad day turn into a bad life, or you can decide if something can be done, do something about it, or if something can't be done, accept it. Very simple. I didn't want to share any hippie woo-woo law of attraction stuff with you guys with the first affirmation. I just really wanted to simply state and remind you that not all things are worth worrying about. Not all things are meant to be under your control. There are just certain things you're just going to have to let go. And if you're spiritual, let God, or you're just going to have to see how it plays out. Here's something that I wanted to do to illustrate my point. I'm going to set a timer for 1 minute. I have no idea what I'm going to do about money. I was talking to someone and they were telling me that they're stocked up with food for like 8 months. I don't even have 8 days worth of food. What the hell am I going to do? I wonder if they're going to let me go. I wonder if they're going to let me go because I told my boss what I think about his tie. Because the tie was ugly, if we're being honest. Oh my gosh. Am I going to have to start working fast food? Because these fast food places are still open. How am I going to feed the kids? How am I going to pay the mortgage? When did I get a mortgage? Oh my gosh, what if I have the coronavirus? Didn't they say it takes about 28 days for them to know whether or not like you're even feeling symptomatic? Is that the word, symptomatic? Oh my gosh. I'm having a shortness of breath. Isn't that a symptom? Shit. All right. Focus. I'm gaining weight. I'm getting fat. Like, what the fuck? I'm getting fat because this stupid thing has me home and eating all my fucking Oreos because I'm stress eating. Like, what the hell am I going to do? Like, people have it. People are stuck. They're running out of masks. Now, not only did I just spend an entire minute of your time and my time complaining, which I'm pretty sure you know people who do this every single day. That's going to be for another video. I just used an entire precious minute of life that I will never get back. And if I'm venting to someone that I love or care about, I've also kind of spent their time too. Not to say that healthy venting isn't, a normal part of adult relationships and friendships and a healthy process to indulge in. However, it's very important that you ground yourself in knowing the difference between venting, where you just simply want to express your emotions about something that's going on, or dwelling. Now, here's the thing about what you can control and what you can't control. It is literally black and white. There are very few situations where you are gray with what can be done or what can't be done. But the problem is we don't like to acknowledge that some things are just not within our power. The point of this is to remember that some things are just not up to you. For example, if the government were to mandate that non-essential businesses close in effort to stop the spread of COVID-19. Imagine that you're this local business person and now the government has pretty much shut shit down. Well, what can you do about that? Literally shut your shit down. Like that is not there. I mean, there's nothing you can really do about them deciding to shut the local operation of your business. Now you can decide to maybe take a couple house visits here and there, definitely risking your safety and others, or you can decide to adjust and find other ways to make money. But what wouldn't make sense is for you to just be mad, throw up a picket fence, and begin protesting about what the government just mandated. It'll probably serve you best if you skip that long rant that you're planning on writing on Facebook about how this is really effing things up for you. And it'll probably be better if you thought about what you could do. There's very little that you can do to overthrow what they've put in place. However, when you think about time, that minute that I used to complain about life could have been the same minute that I used to strategize about life. So instead of complaining and dwelling on a situation that I can't change, it makes so much more sense to start thinking about what I can do, because that is where you will start to feel very empowered about your situation. Sometimes we are literally left with absolutely no choice in life, and we do not like to admit that. Being very egoic people, we like to be in control of situations. We like to work at solutions and feel that we're actually doing something. So when something can't obviously be done, we tend to freak out, we tend to dwell, we tend to complain, and we tend to hold on to a situation where we didn't feel like winners. We didn't feel like we won that outcome because we didn't come up with an answer, because we literally couldn't. It literally was not in our control. However, if you flip the script and you start to think about the things that you can do, or just come to terms with the fact that, well, with this one, it's okay. I realize that this is outside of my control. If I could do something, I would, but I can't, and that's okay. I don't think we talk enough about the situations where we don't have control and how okay it is to not have control of every situation. I think our egos definitely need to be subdued, and they need to be tamed when it comes to these situations, because we'll feel more empowered when we do let go and just trust that the best will end up working out for our good regardless of our situations. If you're going through something right now, it's very important that you feel and be real. Like I said, acknowledge how you feel, allow yourself to sit in those feelings, because they won't just simply go away. There's a reason why you're having an emotional reaction to what's going on, but it will serve you better and serve those around you better if you just took the time to think about what can actually be done and what can't be done. It'll be helpful to make a list, because then you'd be able to see, okay, what is within my realm of power and what isn't. And don't be fooled. Just because something is not in your power doesn't mean you feel powerless. It just means you understand. You're wise in understanding that not everything will be up to you. And that is truly life. Like, I think we do ourselves a disservice thinking that we should be our own savior. We should be the person to fill in the blank all the time. There's only so much that we know, and it would be very unwise to think that we are responsible for coming up with every solution. Sometimes that's just not the case. Right now, I want you to realize you are alive right now. You're listening to the sound of my voice. You're watching this video, and you are very much empowered to be present and realize what can be done in the present and what simply can't. You can just trust that if you do not have a clear solution in front of you, soon the time will come for you to know exactly what you should do. But you cannot force that time to be here when it's not here. Otherwise, the timer is still going, and you will continue to use precious time given to you stressing about a situation that has A, already happened, B, may happen, or C, may not even happen. But present, this is the only time that actually matters, right now. So what are you doing right now to better yourself? What are you doing right now to take care of yourself? What are you doing right now to empower yourself? Are you being realistic about what you can and cannot do when it comes to the situation that you're facing? When it comes to the feelings that you're feeling, have you gotten to a place where you healthily processed your feelings, but are you dwelling on those same things that you cannot change? If it's something that happened in the past, I'm not saying get over everything that's ever hurt you. I'm saying take your time to healthily process your feelings and sit in those emotions. But It is so important that you decide that you will not let precious time go by where you continue to dwell about things you simply cannot change anymore. Commit to being a better person. Commit to figuring out what will make you feel better in the next situation, or what will have you be more prepared in case something tragic like this pandemic happens again. Use your time wisely to avoid certain things happening again. Sometimes that will be in your control, almost always. So try to prepare for next time. Ground yourself. Realize that you are not powerless just because you don't have an answer yet. Trust, whether you are spiritual or non-religious, that in time things will work out. Think about it. It's like watching a movie. You're watching a character in the beginning of the movie be in so much distress, and you get a little curious. So you fast forward and you figure out that it works out for that character. You are totally fine now. Well, I would be devastated because I hate ruining movies. But now you're totally fine to go back and watch the movie. And while the character's freaking out, you're like, kid doesn't even know it's going to work out because XYZ is going to happen. I like to think about life kind of like that. Right now, we're in the part of the movie where we're all freaking out. And while we don't know what the hell is going to happen at the end of, our movie, at the end of the day, what we do between now and the end of the year, when the answer will become more clear, is completely up to us. We can decide to dwell and be on the side of fear and anxiety where we don't know what the hell will happen, and we start to frustrate ourselves with situations we make up in our head. Or we can try every single day to be grounded, to be present, and to be strategic about what we can do, because at the end of the day, we're going to get to the end of this. You know what I mean? No matter what you're facing right now, there is going to be an end of it. The things you stressed about 5 years ago are already dead and gone, hopefully. But at the end of the day, it's just trust. Trust, like someone being able to fast forward through the movie of your life and see that it works out. Trust that it will. The answers that you're looking for, they will appear. The solutions that you're hoping for, the relief that you're praying for, just trust that it will happen. If you're spiritual or religious, I want to remind you that faith and fear cannot reside in the same believer. It's actually an insult to the God that you serve to say that you have faith but doubt whether or not they're going to, see you through the situation. If you're not spiritual or religious, then just remember that it's more conducive and just healthier overall to be positive about life situations, and that you're in control of your destiny because you decide what you do with that time, whether you have a timer up or not. Remind yourself that you are the captain of your ship and that your destiny is essentially in your hands with what you do right now. Remember that what you do at this present time, how you see your life, and whether or not you come to terms with what you can and can't control will definitely correlate with the amount of peace that you have. Remind yourself that it is okay to not be okay. However, guys, it is complete madness to go on and on about situations you absolutely can't do anything about. You're literally just complaining and perpetuating the situation even more and giving that situation so much energy that it makes you feel even smaller and more powerless than just naturally being like, okay, can't do that, moving on. Remember, guys, it is so much more important to adapt, to adjust, to process, and to do so in a healthy manner. These are very trying times, so definitely take care of yourself. Realize some things will just not be up to you, and that is absolutely okay. Until next time, guys, love and light.
Shine, lollipop.